totally free and enjoy more of what the world has to offer in this action one, because this is where most human beings screw the pooch.
So a little one-person trampoline, very
I screen shared it. Like, there's no excuse. Like, phone numbers are just out there. You just got to pick up the phone, smile, and dial. So, good morning, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the Talk to Tanner Morning Show, where we go over tips, tricks, ideas, and exercises to help make you the absolute best entrepreneur you can be, not only for yourself, but for the people you love and care about most. This is an exciting morning. It's been a pretty chaotic morning. I'm not going to lie to you. I have working with a group. I'm hosting the education moment, doing a speech, and also trying to deliver out my product to over a dozen people. So it's been kind of chaotic back and forth, but we're committed to the process. 7 a.m. live every morning. And this morning, I wanted to talk about something that's going on with me. And I think more and more businesses are definitely getting into this space. And it's just talking about hosting online events. We live in an online world, how we connect with people. And I am truly grateful for it, because I don't need to be connected with people 24/7 in order to do business with them, in order to benefit from them, in order for them to benefit from me, to be able to grow. So, for example, I do a lot of business with people in Chicago, yet I live a couple hours west of the city of Chicago in a small town. We live out in the country. We love our house. We got land, all that stuff. It's very quiet, living on the river. So but when you do business with people in the city, usually the margins are a lot better, or a lot higher, but the cost of doing business is usually a lot higher. And the online world is allowing us to merge with people, with location not mattering. So I'm trying to place myself in a position to where I can maximize the quality of my life and the costs of my life and the chaos of my life and living situation, but also maximize my business potential and getting with people and working with people in these like more dense areas where prices and just traffic and people trying to grow their business is just a lot more of a priority versus somewhere where I live right now, where it's a bit of a smaller town. So the online world, as you can see, can be very powerful in that regard. Whether you lived in Chicago, you live in Chicago, and then you're trying to do business with people down in Florida, absolutely massive market, or Texas, or wherever in the country, or even international. I had a really fun call yesterday with this young man who owns a virtual assistant company, and he's from Pakistan. It was really cool to talk to him just about how he lives his life, what he does for fun. Didn't know that. Definitely want to get him on the show. Shout out to him and his MS Virtual, their company. That was fun chatting with him. But without further ado, we're going to go ahead and we're going to get into our points for today. And I'm just going to go over 5 points of how we can benefit. And I'm going to show some show notes of 5 points that we can benefit to host an online event, or what this kind of looks like for people. And I know I've been really into this lately. I'm trying to do more of this. So without further ado, let's go ahead. And tip number 1, planning ahead. I need to present my screen to you this morning. I apologize. I am all over the place a little bit this morning. It's been pretty chaotic since the go, but that's okay. Let me go ahead and zoom into here. So first tip is to plan ahead when it comes to hosting an online event. Our event is on April 20th. That is 1 month from today. Yet I've been already asking people about this, and I started 2 months ahead. Our group, our organization out of BNI, our team where we refer each other business, we're planning out ahead for our guest events where we're trying to get a lot of business owners, referral partners in there. And we start asking people like 60 days out. I remember the last 2 events that we had, I procrastinated so bad on inviting people that my turnout wasn't as good. People have full schedules. People are busy. Everyone wears the busy badge. We're all busy. And knowing this and accommodating for people can make the friction of wanting to go, because just getting people to show up is, I think, by far the hardest part. Getting people to show up for events. Just everyone's out there competing for time. Everyone wants your time. Everyone wants your attention. That's the ultimate thing. There's one of the business gurus. I watch a lot of his stuff, Grant Cardone. He's pretty extreme, but he always is barking about how good morning. Thanks for tuning in with us this morning. How getting attention is the ability to make money, or making money is based off of your ability to get people's attention, to get their time. You see big billion-dollar companies, whether it's the social media platforms you're watching it on right now, maybe you're on YouTube, Facebook, or LinkedIn with us. Either way, these massive juggernaut companies, they're able to grab and hold your attention, and that is very valuable. But back to our main point here is planning ahead. If you're going to do one of these events, I really encourage planning ahead. So planning ahead, I like to do like 2 months out, and then it's not too far into the future, but it's enough time. It gives me like a full 6 weeks, to be inviting people to get them to come. So considering the timing, duration, and format to the event to plan. So the next would be number 2, engage your audience. Engage your audience. Encourage participation and interaction among attendees. Use breakout rooms, polls, and other engagement tools to keep attendees engaged and interested throughout the event. In our organization, we always start off, and I really like this style of, when you get into meetings, then you have people break out in little small groups, and then you're just talking like, why are you here? What are you looking for? What do you do for a living? What do you value? And just kind of the non-salesy, get to know somebody approach, just trying to touch on them, say, hello, this is what do you do? This is what I do. And let's see if we can actually help each other. I think I'm pretty optimistic about how it's evolving in business of like, okay, in the virtual space, I'm here to do this. If you need help with this, I can provide this. And if you don't, I'm not too worried about it. There's lots of people to continue to engage with, or at least you're getting it out there into the universe of what it is that you are trying to do. I know personally for a long time, I was very scared to engage with people at networking events. Even in the virtual world, it's like, oh, well, I don't want to press them too hard. I don't want to tell them their time or this and that, but engaging is usually one of the best benefits, and how people can remember you. And then when you follow up with them, which is one of the points that we'll get to here in a minute. So engaging with your audience, engaging with more people can help with these types of events. Next is provide value. If we're going to offer something, let's go ahead and get our banner up. Provide value. Provide value, number 3. So we get on here, provide value or offer valuable content or insights that your attendees can use to improve their personal or professional lives. So what is the point of this event? The point of this event on April 20th is for business owners, commission-based workers, people who benefit from referrals. If you benefit from referrals, then this is what we're trying to offer people, is that you come in, you give referrals to other people in different lines of business, whether we have people who can help with your financial planning. We have people who can help you buy or sell a home. We have people who can help you qualify for financing for buying a home. We have people who can help you with that book that you've always wanted to write. We have lawyers in there. So a lot of the things that we need in day-to-day, that those are provided, and then you're with the group. And then the offer is that you get to be with a group of partners who refer you business, and vice versa. You refer them business, and then you're growing relationships organically and naturally that way. I'm going to go ahead and widen this up and kick my stuff off of the screen for a moment. Providing value. Good morning, everyone. Next up is we have point number 4. So point number 4 is follow up. This is all of the good stuff is in the follow up. I wish I would have been more disciplined with this sooner, but it's just how it works. We got to follow up with people. We got to be able to tell people about what it is that we're doing. And every in our first point, we had talked a little bit about planning ahead. And myself included, we don't always plan ahead and we get a little behind. Things get a little crazy and we can do what? We can forget. So not being too hard on people, understanding that they're going to forget. And maybe you have a software. I like to use Calendarly, which is a software where you can put in follow-up emails with people after they book an appointment with you. Like I'm going to send you, if you're going to come on the morning show, you're going to get an email like 5 days before, and then 2 days before, and then the morning of, just so you remember of like, okay, I'm committing to this, I'm doing this. And same thing with our events. Our events are like a week out, just making sure everyone's got everything they need. The last thing we want to do is to make sure is that we get people to commit to coming to this thing on April 20th to come check out the businesses that are already there to see if there's any opportunities for them. But we're following up with them to really make sure that it's as smooth. Like I was saying, you've probably done this before. I know I have. You're about to try and get into a meeting. You don't know where the link's at. You're not really sure. You're kind of fumbled up. You're already a little bit late, and then bam, you get into the minutes 3. And then you have to blame tech issues, and no one likes doing that. And it's a pain in the butt. If you're 10 minutes early for this kind of stuff, it usually tends to be a lot easier. So planning ahead, but also following up with people so they can be prepared as well. And it's all in the follow-up to make sure that this is really what they want to do. To thank them for attending, we could just send a simple thank you, or we could send them some information or some resources. I know I always like getting some resources and stuff before I get into somewhere, just so I can get a better idea of what's going to be going on with this. And that brings us to our last point. And it's kind of what we're doing right now is promote the event. Promote the event. So the last point here for today before we wrap up is promoting the event. Spread word about your virtual networking event through social media, email, and other channels. That's the main way I've been doing it. Is whether I come on to this morning show, I send a lot. I've been sending a lot of direct messages on my social media handles. LinkedIn has been really successful for me for getting events. Additionally, Instagram has been pretty good. Facebook, but just kind of looking up pages, whether it's business pages on Facebook, or you're just doing a simple search. You're doing a simple search on LinkedIn. Both of those have been pretty successful so far, getting about 10 guests, almost 10 guests here for the event. So we're already at a little over 20 people who will be coming. So we're hoping to continue. Our goal is to try and hit 50 total people to be into this call on April 20th. So, and we can promote the event, whether it's on social media, like we're talking about right now. Maybe you're thinking, okay, I want to do one of these. I can post them on my social media. What's my favorite social media to post on? So I can follow up people with bits of the content that I pull out, or get creative, and have fun with it. We just want to make sure that it's not too daunting and it's not too heady to the point that we don't take the actions necessary. So let's go ahead and wrap this up. This morning's show, I'm going to go ahead and get rid of, keep on my screen. So this was 5 tips for hosting an online event for your business. Number 1, plan ahead. I like to set the event at least 2 months ahead of time. Second, engage your audience, whether you get in the meetings and you're just talking with people, you're trying to figure out something interesting about them. Maybe you see a post online and you're just reaching out to them. You're like, hey, I saw this was interesting. Maybe you could benefit from this. So engage. Next, provide value. What kind of value? What's the point of this event? What are we trying to really get done here? How can everyone benefit? Next, we have follow up with people. Not everyone wears the busy badge and people get stuff or they overbook and all of that fun stuff. So we want to make sure we're following up with them. And lastly, let's make sure to promote the event. If people don't know that the event is happening, then they're probably not going to show up to it. So again, this event for me is on April 20th. And this is through BNI. It's on April 20th, and this is through BNI. If you have more questions, if you would like to attend something like this, then send me a direct message and I can get you more information about it. Let me go ahead and stop my screen share. But that's all I had for you guys this morning. I got to bounce. I got a few things I got to prepare for my talks and stuff. So I'm going to let you guys go, but have an amazing day. Think about this stuff of how you can maybe implement it into your own business, or maybe your current company could benefit from these types of ideas. Really appreciate everyone stopping by this morning, and I'll see you all in the next episode 239 this morning, 239 this morning, tips on hosting an online event. And I'll see you again 7 a.m. Central Standard Time, live with another episode of the Talk to Tanner Morning Show. Thanks, everyone. I'm getting out of here. I'll catch you on the next one. Peace out. Have a great, fun-filled Thursday.